All right, you guys, let's answer these questions. So the first one says, what name did people call Stanley? And this really hurt Stanley's feelings. We worked all year on being kind to others, right? And we know that name calling, and just because people are different, that makes them unique and special. It doesn't make them different to where we need to call them names, right? So people were calling Stanley, do you remember? Super skinny? They were calling him super skinny. And if I go back into the chapter, it says it right here. They said, hello, super skinny. They would shout and even ruder things about the way he looked. And another thing that they called him was just flat, right? And he just didn't like that. All right, the next question says, who went into Stanley's room when they heard him crying? Was it his parents? Who was it? If you're saying Arthur, his brother, you are right. Arthur was the one that came in, and he really didn't know what to say, but they ended up working out an amazing plan to help Stanley. So the next question was, what idea did Arthur have? Now, it has to do with that bicycle pump. What were they going to do to Stanley? They were going to pump him up, right, with that bike pump. Now, really fast, we've talked about this once before. Could this really happen? What do you think? No, this is definitely fake, right? This is really fake. All right, the next one says, did Arthur's plan work? In the book, did Arthur's plan to pump him back up with the bicycle pump, did it work? It sure did, didn't it? Yep. I've even added some exclamation points to make a big point. It sure did. All right. What did Mrs. Lambchop make to celebrate? So after that, they went downstairs and they had, what did they have? Can you remember? Hot chocolate to celebrate the occasion, and several toasts were drunk to Arthur. So it looks like they had hot chocolate and cookies. So hot and make sure you can see it on the board, cookies. That is a great way to celebrate. Mrs. Meekum loves hot chocolate and cookies. Okay, now the last one, I'm not going to write anything. This is up to you. You're going to write this because it's your opinion. Now, an opinion is what you believe. So do you think you would like being flat like Stanley was? All you have to do is write yes and give me a reason why, or no and give me a reason why, okay? If I flip this over really fast, all of these are optional, but I would love to know your opinion on whether you would like to be flat or whether you wouldn't, and I would love to know the reasoning. When we do this in class, it's always fun to hear the different ideas that you first graders can come up with. So please answer that question. And you can send me that, or there's this one that you could do where you're just talking about your favorite story. There's a real versus fantasy. And then this is the page that I was getting to. Would you rather be round or flat? And then you explain it and you draw a picture. This is the one I would love to see. So there's 4 pages today. I don't want you to do them all, okay? Unless you want to. So here's this, and we just did it together. And then you can pick one of these other pages to do. You can talk about your favorite part of the story. You can talk about real versus fantasy. You put the title of the book. You put the author. So the title is Flat Stanley, and the author is Jeff Brown. It's right there on the bottom by my finger, and that's a pretty easy name to write. And then you bubble in, you color in whether it was real or fantasy, and we already know that it was fantasy. And then how do we know that? You can kind of explain, or you can do this one. And that is the end of your packet. So tell me, would you rather be flat like Stanley, or would you not? Would you like to be, let's see, what did it say? Would you rather be flat or round? All right, now remember, you don't have to do all the papers, do just the ones that you want, okay? I hope that you have enjoyed Flat Stanley this week. Like I said, this is a really fun book. And you guys, there's other adventures that he goes on. And if you look in here, the text is pretty easy. I think that this might be something, if you find it at a library or if you have another book at your house, that you might be able to read these books too, these chapter books. So I miss you guys. I can't wait to see you all next week, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you later.